Hello, and welcome back to Recorder 101, Lesson 19. We're moving along. We've got about 10 or 11 more lessons before we stop. Okay, today, yeah, get some of the kinks out. And today I'm introducing what should I call it? What is it? A practice plan. It's not just the 15-minute sort of thing. And this was actually put forward. There's a YouTube video by Sarah Jeffrey, Team Recorder, where she discusses how to practice. And I took notes and just formulated everything, typed it all up, came up with my own version of a practice plan, really. I'm not trying to show it to you because I want to give you the link in the course. So the link is going to be in the course. One of the things that is in it, she's got 9 different points in there, things to do and to practice. And I'm starting with the 2 that she says is most important. One is your daily warm-up, and that's sort of what I'm focusing on today, not completely. And the other is preparation for performance. And in the video, those are the 2 that she says those should be part of an everyday practice. Okay, so the daily warm-up, these are things that I've hinted at on and off since the very first lesson. But her second point after the short practice, the daily warm-up, is studies or etudes. And I'm not giving you etudes. You may have a book of etudes. That's a great thing to have if you've got it, so please use it. But I'm going to put up part of Beestdansbergeret, which is a shepherd or shepherdess's dance. And it's specifically designed to challenge the soprano and tenor players. And I've gone with my new camera today, just washed my hair, it's still wet. And I was going to use my tenor recorder, got a good distance here from it, but it's just not quite enough to show you. So this is putting into practice some of our soprano or tenors higher notes. Altos, it's all within easy range, basically, of an alto, like one note that requires half holing. Sopranos, tenors, this is for us. However, the fingering is a bit more challenging because we are introducing eighth notes along with quarter notes. There's a couple of half notes. I'm only putting in bits and pieces. Okay? So what you're seeing isn't something that you should play all the way through. So that, the practice plan, and part of the music is going to be in today's course site. Now, the first note is an A, thumb and middle finger of left hand. And it is a quarter note. Then we have a little run. The, excuse me, that's a C, not an A. Excuse me, before I get into this, there is one surprise in here, and that is a C sharp. So I'm going to show you the C sharp. There's only one. The rest of the C's are quite natural. So we know we've got our C, which is what I had called an A, like that. But with C sharp, you take the thumb away and you put the other finger down. There's only one. We haven't practiced that C sharp before. If we were doing a C sharp way at the bottom of our recorder, we would be covering that hole, okay? Not the whole thing, just that one. So there we would have so that's a full octave lower. If you're playing the tenor recorder, you will have lots of C's, all fingered way up here, but sounding way down here. And the one C sharp that you will hear will sound like the other C sharp. There we go. Why did I get such a high note before? One of my fingers is leaking air. So that's something that we always have to keep in mind. Which finger is leaking? Don't know. Figure it out. Okay, so we've got our C. And the next bit, which is a practice, is the B, C, D. So just that little bit is enough to make into an etude for yourself. That's the very first bar. But we have another note immediately after that, and that is our half hold E. So I might want to take just those two notes, the one that's the D, no thumb, and the half thumb, but the E is another quarter note, so we've got time to blow it. The challenge all through here, just this much, not worrying about the next two C's, which are coming right after the E and are also quarter notes, is you've got time for the C, and then you have to hurry through the next four notes. That's enough. And if you just take that for your etude on one day, it's enough. Now there are other bits and pieces which challenge. So each bar or bar and the next note makes a really good etude for a beginner. So we have the third bar, C, D, E, C, D, E, F. We were just reviewing the E, the half-hold E, and now we need the F. So if we think of this, and the whole idea here is that is one practice, just that bar in the note afterwards, and take that, not trying to get through the whole piece. That will destroy you. It would destroy me right now. And take that, maybe you take one bar and a note, one more note, each week. And each day you're making it a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. And the next week you take another bar and a note and make that daily faster. And then the third week you take the first bar and note and the second bar and note and combine them, or the third bar and note. But there's a lot here. And everything I've given you in this, there are a lot of blank places where there's nothing being played yet. It's all a variation or exact repetition of what I have given you. So I'm not going to give you the full Bassdanzbergerett until we come to the very end of the course, because this gives you something to use as an etude if you're looking for one. So that etude is combining a study, an etude. It's also combining Sarah Jeffrey's fourth lesson thing, finger exercises. I mean, you could do this silently. It doesn't have to be done with. Okay. It also can combine your sight reading. One thing I find, and you saw it, it may not have jived, that's what it is. I'm having difficulty naming the notes. I know what they are, but I misnamed them. I misnamed the C as an A because I've got an A written right above that C. Why did I write an A above the C? I wrote an A above the C because it was the first part of the piece, and it comes again later. There's a B part of the piece. You get part of the B part of the piece because that's where that C sharp comes in. Okay, so that was that little bit, but we're going back to, and I'm sorry, didn't take out my metronome, going back to La Bergamasca, which is probably another shepherd's dance, and we're looking at the third line, trying to pick it up. My problem with La Bergamasca, and I'm going to continue to use my soprano recorder, is that I'm struggling with the Fs. And I'm also struggling in here with the Fs. They're here. Thumb down, the only one I need. And in the bottom line, recorder 3, we also get this. So we've got the first time I did those Ds, just now, I had leaky fingers, so it didn't sound right. But my problem there, this is another finger exercise, is our F, put that finger down, lift this finger up. Put this finger down, lift this finger up. Put this finger down, put this finger down. Those are the challenges. So just sit there with your recorder, watch the evening news, wonderful always, and take your time. Anyway, that's a finger exercise. That's another one of the things, as I've mentioned, that's on this particular list. So trying to make this a little bit faster, no metronome today. And at this point, without a metronome, I don't think I can make it faster. So that's where I'm going to leave you today. So there's some new music. Use the bars as etudes, studies. Use those bars as finger exercises when you're watching something that you always watch that is kind of driving you nuts. Just to do that, use those bars to try and do the recognition of which fingering for which note. It may be difficult to see, but if you can actually see it, just looking at it very carefully for a long time, internalizing it, and transferring that to your recorder, that's good too. Because at some point, if your eyes are working, and mine don't work well, one is completely blind and the other one is going that way. We'll have to do something about that. But take your time, work on those things slowly. Give yourself the time. Don't rush it. And grow. Keep trying. I'll keep trying too. Okay? Everybody, do well. Have a great day. Practice.